going on, everybody? It's your boy Adam. Just kicking it. It's Sunday. 78-mile bike ride on Friday, 40-mile bike ride on Saturday, with an 8-hour shift at the bakery. And today I'm listening to. I guess I'm listening to the people that got picked up in the Home Depot parking lot to come work on the hot water again. And there's a bunch of noise and commotion outside. I'm not even gonna pull the curtains back to see what's going on out there. I don't even want to know. I'm just chilling. I'm gonna watch some videos. I'm gonna. I'm just hanging out until I hear that they're done, and from there, I've got 3 things I want to try and get done today. I don't even have to list out what they are. One of them is grocery shopping. The other 2 have to do with getting organized and getting some, not getting organized and getting paid, getting organized financially. So those are the things. If I can do those 3 things today, I'm a winner. But let's see. The things I have to talk about for the next couple of minutes are a lot of the retarded ass comments. We can say the word retard now, we're allowed. It's coming back in full force everywhere I look. People are calling retarded shit retarded. So, I've been doing this since the start of my videos. I was probably a little bit more polite in the first handful of videos that I did, and then I just decided, you know what, you be you, Adam. Just be you. Just don't, break the law. So some of the retarded comments that I get, it never ends. I'm responding to less and less comments, not because I don't want to. I enjoy reading all of your comments. I enjoy responding to them. Time is a factor. Chaos is a factor. But I started talking about how I was using AI tools to do research. And all these people are jumping on my back saying, how dare you? How dare you use those tools? How dare you contribute to the downfall of society and the end of mankind by basically, I guess I am the reason now that Skynet will become self-aware and the Terminator robots are going to come and destroy everybody and kill us all. And so, all because I used an AI bot to analyze some documents, give me some ideas for some logos, and a number of other things. I used ChatGPT to write cover letters so that when I send my cover letter and resume to a job opportunity, the AI bot that's reading my cover letter is just talking to the AI bot that wrote the cover letter. So I'm a piece of shit now because I used AI. Now I want to point out something to you people. All you fucking people that are leaving me, are blasting me for using AI. Have you ever, in the last 2 to 5 years, have you, I'm just going to put one thing. Have you ever done a Google search in the last 2 to 5 years? Have you searched for anything that you want to know on Google? I'm going to assume the answer is yes. Have you searched for anything with DuckDuckGo? If you're one of these people, I don't use Google anymore. I have cut Google out of my life and I don't use their okay, did you use DuckDuckGo? Did you use a search engine to search for something? Because I hate to inform you, you are using AI. All the search engines use artificial intelligence now. The only way that you can avoid using artificial intelligence when it comes to searching for something now is to go to the library and use the card catalog to find the information that you're. Remember that shit? If you're Generation X or older, you remember the card catalog at the library. This big giant fucking filing box with these tiny little drawers, and you have to dig through them looking for what, the topics that you're interested in, and then you get these printed index cards that are, 3x5 index cards, or 4x6, or smaller. I don't even know what size they are. They're tiny, and it has all the information about the book that you need to find, and then you've got to go into the stacks, into the back of the library, and just walk up and down the aisles until you find the row with the corresponding number from the, you remember the Dewey Decimal System, to find the book that you're looking for, and then hopefully nobody has checked out that obscure book before you, and then you can find the answers to the questions that you're looking for. But if you've done a Google search, I'm telling you right now, you've used AI. So fuck off. Just fuck off. It's a tool in your toolbox. Have you driven a car that was manufactured in the last 5 years? Any car. Have you driven a car? Guess what? You're using AI all fucking day. Every time you drive your fucking car. Do you have a car that has a dashboard with a bunch of computer screens and a big giant iPad on it? Do you drive a modern car? If not, good for you. If you do, you're using AI, and I'm going to assume that some of the people who are telling me, how dare you use AI and enable the machines? Elon Musk told us that AI is taking over the planet, which it is. And you're contributing to the downfall of society by using AI. Well, I've done 100 other things to contribute to the downfall of society. You want me to list them all? AI is just one. So, and you've done 150 things today to contribute to the downfall of society, but I'm not going to list them out and comment all over your YouTube channels. So, let's see. Now I'm lost. I had something else to talk about, and I got on this angry rant about the trolls in the comments section, and now I can't even remember why I turned on this phone in the first place. I might have to hit the stop button. And otherwise, you're just going to see me sitting here trying to remember. Yeah, I don't know. It's Sunday. I don't have anything going on. I'm trying to recover my energy because I've got to do the 40-mile bicycle commute again tomorrow. But things are if a year from now my life is still the way it is right now, I'm not even going to say it, but it can't be like this a year from now. I'm just going to have to keep looking backwards to say, a year ago today, let's see, it was the middle of April. So yeah, okay. It doesn't matter what exact date it is. In fact, a year ago today, I've only been out of prison for about 10 days, something like that. Let me look at the 10 or 11, 10. I've been home from prison for 10 days a year ago today. And life is a hell of a lot better today than it was then. So that's the kind of stuff you have to do sometimes when you're going through some stress and some bullshit, is just remember how much worse it was. If it's, if it indeed was worse, because, sometimes we're in, obviously when I was a year into my prison bid, I could look back a year ago and say life was a hell of a lot better than this. But when you're trying to come back from a disaster, sometimes, it's an up and down thing. And now I remember what I wanted to talk about. The up and down thing. Perfect. Perfect segue into what I actually wanted to talk about. Or one of the topics I wanted to discuss quickly in this video segment. So now that I remember what it was, I'll talk about the up and down struggle because it's perfect. There's highs and lows. It's not a straight line. When I came home from prison, things were really bad. I was in a toxic situation for 45 days. I think it was 45 days that I was in that wretched apartment with that wretched person. And it was just, was every day bad? No, it wasn't. But it was 6 miles to Jamestown, and I didn't have a vehicle, didn't have a bicycle. Had 2 bicycles sitting right there. Would have cost me about $300 to get everything I needed to ride them. How do I know? Because when I got to Texas, I brought one of the bicycles with me. It cost about $300 to get everything I needed just to start riding it. And that was just to start riding it. That didn't count having to replace tires, having to replace parts, having to buy parts and accessories and tools and things. I've spent a pretty penny on bicycling. Have I spent as much as a car payment? No. Have I spent as much as car insurance, a car payment, gasoline, repairs, and problems with a car? Not even close. But I didn't have a job. I didn't have income. I had $700 handed to me when I came home. That was the proceeds from selling a few things that was done on my behalf before I came home. We don't need to talk about what, but I had $700 and that was all I had. No more money was going to come my way until I found a way to make it. So to take half of that just to be able to get on a bicycle and ride around was not something I was willing to do, because I was also being told I have to get the fuck out of this place and go find a place of my own with no job, with no income. I've only been out of prison for like 1 day and I'm being screamed at about get the fuck out of here. Oh yeah, like somebody can just come home from prison and 2 days later put their life back together and have everything back to the way it was and money rolling in the door and, all that. So, then we all know I became homeless. I started doing these YouTube videos. And the fact of the matter is, homeless was an upgrade. Being homeless was better than having a home, because the home I was in was so shitty that being homeless was a step up. It didn't necessarily feel like it at the time, but in general, yes. I can look back and I can say, wow, if I had spent another 2 months in that toxic dump situation that I was in, it would have been way worse than what I went through being homeless. Way worse. Whew. Holy fuck. So think about it. That's bad. Just let that sink in. Being homeless was better. It was an upgrade. But there were ups and downs through that whole homeless struggle in Jamestown. I got hired at a job twice, making more money than I would have been. If those jobs had stuck, I would have been making more money at those jobs. Either one of those jobs would have paid me more and put more money in my bank than the current job that I ride my bicycle 40 miles each way to do. And every time I'd get a job offer, it would get pulled away. Even though I was honest and upfront about my felony, they would say, "Oh, we don't think that's a problem at all. We're looking for people who have a felony theft or, something else, child molester, things like that. You'll be fine. We don't have any problem with that." And then they turn around and say, "Oh, we have a problem with that. You can't work here." They'd always say the same thing. "Oh, we believe people deserve a second chance." The second somebody tells you the second somebody tells you we believe people deserve a second chance, what they mean is go fuck yourself. You don't deserve a second chance. That's what they actually mean when they say those words. Do not ever fucking believe anybody when they say people deserve a second chance, because that's the number one thing that people say to you when they believe you don't deserve a second chance. Over and over and over, I've heard that from people who didn't want to give me a second chance after they told me people deserve a second chance. That's the number one thing they say. It's basically the same thing the government does now. Oh, we're gonna release those Jeffrey Epstein files and tell you who all the pedophiles are that fucked kids on Epstein Island, over and over and over again. But what they really mean is, we're never going to tell you who the elite pedophiles are who fucked all the kids on Jeffrey Epstein Island. We're just going to keep telling you, oh, just wait a couple more weeks. We'll get right on that. So, you know, the pedophiles who fuck kids on Jeffrey Epstein Island aren't having any trouble finding work and jobs and ways to put food on their table and generate income. But the guy who said mean tweets on Twitter, he can never have a job again. Just, let that sink in for a minute. So, ups and downs over the last year. There's been some downs for sure. There's been some ups. Even while I was homeless, there was ups. Got hired. Oh, got fired before the first day. Got hired again. Oh, got fired before the first day. Ups and downs, ups and downs. Had multiple interviews with one job, met the CEO, and the CEO said we're good to go. 4 rounds of interviews. They checked all of my professional references. Went through this whole fucking process for 2 fucking months. 2 months of job interviews and everything under the sun. And then they didn't even have the courtesy to say that we're not moving forward. They literally just ghosted me one day. Never ran a background check. Because I never got that. They don't do a background check unless they tell you first, because you're going to have to fill out forms, put in your social security number, all that kind of crap to do a background check. They literally just ghosted me. It's one thing to get ghosted after a job interview. That happens all the time. That's not even something you should take personally. But when you go through 4 rounds of interviews with a company, that each interview is about an hour long, you meet with the fucking CEO of the company and have an hour-long meeting with the CEO of a 500-person company, and he says that sounds good to me, I like you, let's hire you, and blah, blah, blah. And then they check all of your personal references and go through the whole fucking thing, and then just silence. Silence. So, absolutely. And I reached out to the woman, the HR director, whoever it was that was coordinating all of this, the recruiter and the company's HR director, whatever title she had. And it was a ghost. How the fuck do you, that is completely unacceptable in my opinion. That's completely absurd and unacceptable behavior in terms of a business. Ghosting after one job interview, that I don't even care. That's not a big deal. That's like ghosting a chick after you go on one date, you go have a cup of coffee, you go out to dinner, whatever, you meet a girl, you meet her, you see her in the parking lot, you're like, well, she don't look like the pictures I saw on Tinder. Psh. You go and you have your coffee, you be polite, and then it's a ghost. You don't respond to her texts, none of that. Just move on, let her figure it out for herself. That's normal. That happens all the time. Women do that to men constantly. You meet you have a good conversation, you swipe right on Bumble, you go out, you have a couple beers or a coffee or a bite to eat, whatever. You go on a fun date. You do something more interesting than a dinner date. You go walk around a neighborhood, whatever. Then all of a sudden you're like, you know, you send a text and all of a sudden you don't get a response, you're ghosted. Okay, fine, move on. It's one, you know, it didn't fucking work. But it's a different situation when you meet a girl, you go on 4 dates, you do all kinds of fun stuff together, you end up spending the night together, and you're talking about, you know, like, hey, next weekend we should do this and that, and you meet her friends, and then all of a sudden, you know, after 4 or 5 dates, you meet all of her friends. All of her friends are like, oh, wow, he's a really cool guy. And then ghost. One way or the other. Either the girl ghosts the guy or the guy ghosts the girl. After, like, seeing somebody for a month and meeting the other person's friends and actually getting, like, you're not in a relationship, so to speak. But you're not on a first date either. To just ghost somebody, to just like fucking disappear and not even send a text or a message, I'm gonna say it, that's completely unacceptable behavior. Whether if I ever did, I never did that. No, I would never hang out with a girl for over a month and go on multiple dates and, you know, get a relationship started with somebody, even if it's not official yet. I would never get that deep into it without an explanation as to why I'm gonna disappear now. Women do that shit all the. Women will do that, no problem. I've seen it happen. I've seen that shit play out a million times. Not just me, but other people's experiences. A woman will date a guy for 2 months and everything will be going great, and then poof, she's gone, vanished, no texts, no, completely ghosted, disappears, no explanation, poof, gone. Which means she met a new guy, he's got more money, she found someone who, you know, has more money, more, you know, better car, a nicer house, whatever the fuck, and she's climbing the ladder. She's like, I either get on OnlyFans to make my money or I climb the ladder of men until I find a man who has enough money to support me and to give me everything I want. So I always equate trying to find a job to trying to find a woman because they're the exact same thing. They are exactly the same. There is absolutely no difference between looking for a job and looking for a date. None. So companies do this, you know, and that is an example of a company that went on 4 dates with me and was dipping their toe in. Maybe we didn't spend the night together yet, but we went on like 4 dates. Things were going good. She met my friends and everything looked like, you know, things were going well. This happened over a month. You know, we went on, you know, we hung out over the weekend 4 times in a month. We're texting back and forth. We're having a good time. We're getting to know each other. She met my friends. We all got along great. And then poof, ghosted. No explanation, no reason. That's all it was. So anyway, ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs for the whole last year of my life. I moved to Texas. Big up. Big up. Get out of the homeless shelter. I don't have a curfew anymore. I can sit in front of my computer whatever time of day or night I want. You know, I don't have to go to beddy by time at 11 o'clock. Like I'm a little fucking kid being told when I have to go to bed. All this ridiculous bullshit. I don't have to deal with it anymore. You know, I'm no longer being treated like a piece of shit just because I didn't have a home. You know, being treated like I'm a 10-year-old kid as punishment for not having a place to live. That was done. So big step up. But there's been a lot of downs since I got to Texas. You know, every time I try to get a car, 2 times, every time I'm about to go make a move to try and find a car, I get completely fucking killed financially with something, or I have to deal with the DMV. I know it. I don't know like what videos I've posted and what I haven't posted, but I ordered a birth certificate from New York State back in October when I was trying to buy a car because the DMV wouldn't give me my driver's license. It was like 2 weeks ago the birth certificate came. Just showed up at my friend's house way after. I'm talking like just a couple of weeks ago at the end of March. 5 months. It takes 5 fucking months when you order a birth certificate from New York State in order to receive your document. 5 fucking months. Now, lucky for me, I was born in Monroe County, where the city of Rochester is located. So, because of the fact that there's a big city in the county I was born in, the county records office was able to send me the document in 2 days. I don't know. I just, thank God I stumbled upon that. I was just like, this can't be. I had a friend who was trying to contact somebody to help me in the state government. And during that time, I'm just like frantically trying to figure out what can I do, because I'm literally going to, I would have had to go from October of last year to April of this year trying to get a driver's license in Texas, all because of this fucking birth certificate. But I magically stumbled upon the Monroe County Records Office website, and they told me I had to spend the same amount of money. It was $80 for both. But I had to spend another $80 after I just spent $80, but they got me the document in 2 days. And then I had to make another appointment at the DMV. So it took over 2 months to get my driver's license from the day I started trying. But the second birth certificate showed up. So now I have two. I have them locked right now. These things are locked up tighter than the gold that's not in Fort Knox. Locked up tighter than the empty gold vault at Fort Knox. You will have an easier time getting into the Elon Musk is going to have an easier time getting into the empty vault with no gold at Fort Knox than you would have getting my birth certificate right now. I will never let those two documents out of my possession, ever, because I'm never going to go through that kind of a hassle again, ever. The only thing that will survive after a nuclear holocaust would be my birth certificates and cockroaches. Those are the only two things that'll survive. Just gonna put it out there. But it's been ups and downs, ups and downs. So, I moved into the tiny house, big up, big up. Not first time, and the first time I've had my own place since August of 2022. The first time I've had my own place to just chill and do what I want since August of 2022 was February 1st, 2025. Big, but then, you've been watching the channel lately, It's ups and downs, ups and downs. So, when you look at the overall graph of the ups and downs, and I compare it to a year ago, I'm way above where I was a year ago. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up and goes down. But generally speaking, if you look at it, if you just step back away from the graph and stop looking at the day to day, you'll see the general trend is moving up. And now that leads into the thing that I'm going to talk about now, the thing that prompted me to start the video and push the record button. Hopefully, my phone doesn't cut out in the middle of this, because it might. I'm running out of space. It won't even give me a low space warning anymore. It just goes boom, done. But I'm watching YouTube. I'm just killing time this morning, listening to these whatever outside banging away trying to fix this hot water for the third fucking month in a row. And all these random videos about weight loss and the weight loss experts and what this new diet and that new thing that you have to do, and oh, you, if you did this diet you did it all wrong because this is the new diet you have to do, and oh, that diet next week will be wrong, and then there's this other diet and this is what, no, you're supposed to not eat any carbs, and then next week, oh no, you're supposed to eat nothing but carbs, and because it's meat that's making you fat, and then next week, oh, it's the carbs that are making you fat, you got to eat nothing but meat, and all these fucking fads. And here's the thing, I am a weight loss expert. I'm going to give you all the weight loss information that you need to know right now. You don't need to talk to the experts, the so-called experts. I have the key, the secret formula, the secret sauce, that this is what you need to know if you want to lose weight. First thing, exercise. Go out and fucking exercise. Go out for a walk, ride a bike, do something that requires physical activity. Get up off your chair and go out and exercise. That's step number one. Number two, eat less food than you burn throughout the day in calories. That's it. Those are the two steps to losing weight. Get exercise, eat less food. Boom. I can tell you that throughout my life, I've gone through multiple periods of my weight going up and my weight going down. And there's a trend. Okay, there's a trend line. I have a weight loss app. It's called Libra. It's not a weight loss app, it's a weight tracking app. I tell people your best information for weight loss and gain is to weigh yourself every day. Typically, I'll weigh myself at the same time every day. Go take a dump, take a piss first thing in the morning, stand on the scale. That's going to be your lightest weight of the day. Drop off everything in the pool and get on the scale before you drink anything, before you eat anything. And after you've dropped off all of yesterday's stuff in the pool, hit that flush button, get on the scale. That's going to be your weight for the day. Do this every day for 6 months. Do this every day for a year. You'll see some pretty surprising things. It's just like I was saying, you're going to go up, you're going to go down, you're going to go up, you're going to go down, you're going to go up and down and up and down and up and down. It's not going to make any sense when you look at it from one day to the next, but over time, what Libra does, this app, it generates an average line, a curve, like a trend line. So it puts your actual weight as a dot. Each day gets a dot. And it goes up and down and up and then there's a line that's the trend. And it's a smooth line. And so what you're going to see is some days your dot is above the line, some days your dot is below the line. Then it's above, then it's below, then it's above, then it's below, then it's 3 days it's above, then 4 days it's below the line, and it's just going to go up and down. Can't tell you how many times I've been using this app for years, well over 10 years, going all the way back to like 2000, since the first time I ever got an Android phone. Let's say 2010. I don't know, somewhere in that range. I can't tell you the number of times that I've seen myself lose 10 pounds in one day and gain 10 pounds in a single day. Over and over. Oh, so many times it's ridiculous. That's why the once a week weigh-in is bullshit, because you're not getting actual information. When you weigh yourself on Friday and that's the only time you're going to check in with your weight, there's a 10-pound swing that can happen from one day to the next. You can go up 10 pounds, you can go down 10 pounds in a single day. So that Friday, you don't really know where you're at. You don't know what's going on. I don't weigh myself every single day right now, but at least 3-4 times a week. And so here's what you see. From September when I got to Texas all the way to the last day of December, it was up and down, 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 just like I said. In fact, one day in November, I weighed in at the lightest I've weighed the entire time I've been tracking my weight, all the way from September to today. And it was a week ago that I finally broke and had a weigh in that was less than that. I was also sick in November, and I lost about 15 pounds in the span of 3 days because I was so sick that I couldn't eat. But the trend line, the average line was climbing, so that at the end of December, I gained another 10 to 12 pounds from what I was when I came here in September. The average line. The day to day line went up and down. Some days I would weigh less than what I weighed when I came to Texas, and some days I weighed significantly more than the 10-pound gain. But the average went up. Then came January. It started to go down. The average line started to go down. Then in February, it took a little bit of a climb and then turned around and started going down again. The whole month of March, downward trend. The whole month of April so far, downward trend. So now the peaks and valleys, the weight gain. So when I'm going through, this week, I rode 78 miles on Friday. I rode my bike on Monday. Throughout the week, my weight has been anywhere from 214 pounds to 222 pounds. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's 8 pounds. That's an 8-pound range. Every morning, I'm either 222 or 214, and back and forth and back and forth, or somewhere in between. It's been fluctuating in that range the whole week, but the general trend is down. Because a few weeks ago, my weight was fluctuating between 219 and 228, a 9-pound range for a couple of weeks. There were a couple of days I'm like 228. Oh my God, I'm fat. Oh wait, I'm 219. No, I'm thin. And I don't know, but you can't look at it like that. You can't look at those numbers from day to day. That's why you can't there's no guarantee that when you check in on Friday, you're going to be at the low end of that range. It's an 8-pound range. And safe weight loss, traditional weight loss, you're losing 1 to 2 pounds a week if you're doing it right. And if you're going to get lasting results. You can't see if you're losing those 2 pounds a week if you only weigh yourself once a week. But so many people have it in their head that that's what you have to do, because you're not. You could get on that scale on Friday and weigh 10 pounds more than you did last Friday, and that's going to be the most discouraging thing, and it's going to stop you from trying. Just record your weight every day, and what you'll see is overall a trend will appear. You're either going up or you're going down. But you're going to need 2 weeks worth of weigh-ins to start seeing what's going on. You're typically going to need a month's worth, and then 3 months worth, and then 4 months worth. And it's really going to show you what's going on, and you're going to start to correlate things in your life with what you see on that chart. I went through a lot of stress, even though I came to Texas and I had a free place to stay with my friend. I had a hell of a lot of stress from September till the end of December. And it was pushing that up and up and up. I wasn't eating well. And yes, I was getting some exercise, but I was actually getting more exercise when I was homeless. And I'm eating 1,000-calorie cookies at a bakery almost every day. And, all these things were contributing to this. January, there's a reason why it started to take a dive, the weight. February, same thing. There's been some peaks and valleys, but it's generally been going down since January. Slowly. Slower than I would like, but I got frustrated today because, a couple days ago I weighed 214 and now I weigh 219 this morning. What the hell? I gained 4 pounds. Of course I gained 4 pounds. I ate a bunch of garbage yesterday. I was really, really hungry last night. Like the last 2 days of cycling finally caught up to me and I was ravaged. I had to eat something and I ate something that was pretty bad for me and I ate a lot of it. And then I woke up and I'm like, oh, that 4 pounds probably came from the 3 pounds of food you ate last night. So there you go, boom. Wow, imagine that. You put 3 pounds of food in your body and you weigh 3 pounds more when you wake up. Dur, dur, dur. So, um, but that doesn't mean that 2 days from now I'm not going to drop 6 and be like 212 on the scale. And so you have to, you can't focus on it's the same thing in life. Okay. I can look at this weight loss chart and I can see that there are bad days and there are good days and there are bad days and good days and bad days and good days, and you have to step back and don't focus on the bad days. You got to step back and say, well, look at all these good days mixed in with the bad days, and step back and look at the graph from a trend line, not the actual data. Look at the trend. Is the trend going down, down, down with the weight loss? If it is, that's because you're following Adam, the weight loss expert's diet plan of get some exercise, don't eat as much shit. That's the plan. That's the diet. Eat what you want. Eat what you want. When you lose weight, it's because you're exercising and burning more calories than you eat. Those are the two things. Exercise, don't eat as much. If you want to gain weight, as I did from September to the end of December, I was sitting on my ass more and I was eating a lot more. Those two things added together caused my weight to go up for the whole September, October, November, and December. The holidays, eating like shit during the holidays, not getting as much exercise. It's cold outside. I'm only riding my bicycle 15 miles to work, and then the rest of the time I'm sitting on a couch or sitting in a chair. When I was in Jamestown, I was walking a lot, but I was eating a lot too. So once again, I gained some weight in Jamestown. It was slow, and it was over a period of time, but it was pretty slow, the trend. But it was because I was eating more than I would burn. Period. That's the secret right there. Now, we're not talking about health, and we're not talking about how some food is better than other food in terms of healthy and, making you not get sick and you know, having better mental health and having your body function be better. We're talking about losing weight. All right, so number one, the way to lose weight, get some fucking exercise, burn more calories than you eat. It's that simple. It's that simple. I'm only an expert because I'm an expert at gaining weight. I know how to gain weight. I can gain 40 pounds in less than 6 months. I've done it many, many times. And I know how to lose 40 pounds in 4 months. I've done it more than once. The way that I've done it, if I want to gain 40 to 60 pounds in a span of a few months, sit on the couch and watch movies, eat cookies and ice cream and all kinds of high calorie foods, gobble them up until you're full, until you're so full that you can hardly move, and then just lay on the couch some more, sleep, lay on the couch some more, watch some more TV, and eat more food. That'll do it. That'll do it real quick. If you want to lose weight really quick, here's what you do. You go exercise, and then you exercise some more, and then when you're done with that, go get some more exercise. Go for a walk, then go for a bike ride. When you get back from the bike ride, go for a walk. Go walk some more. Go do some chores around the house and then go for a walk. And then when you come back from that, ride your bike somewhere. Ride your bike instead of driving your car somewhere. When you get back from that, walk around, do some yard work, and when you get done with that, go for a walk. And in the meantime, eat some salads, eat some steak, eat some fish, and some vegetables, eat some, eat ice cream. It doesn't fucking matter. Eat less. If you burn 1,500 calories in a day, but you're eating 6,000 calories a day, guess what? You're going to get fat. Boom. It's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. But if you burn 4,000 calories a day and you eat 3,000 calories a day, guess what? You're still going to lose weight. Even though they tell you you should only eat 2,000 calories a day, guess what? You can eat 3,000 calories a day if you're burning 4,000 or 5,000 calories a day. So get off your ass, go get some exercise, eat what you want. Eat what you want. Just be aware that, my daily weigh-ins will show me this. If I eat a bunch of shit, if I eat way more than I burn on, like today. I haven't even eaten anything today, but I have a feeling I'm going to eat more food than I burn. Tomorrow, I'm going to wake up. Today I was 219. Tomorrow I might be 222. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Because I can predict, based on what I do today, what the weight's going to be tomorrow. So tomorrow, before I go to the bakery, I might be 222. And I'm probably going to, it's 219 today. I could definitely be 3 pounds more tomorrow. Based on what I already know I'm going to do. I'm going to walk to the grocery store and back. I'm going to get a little bit of exercise. I'm going to come home. I might even eat Burger King. I don't know. I'm really not, I'm going to try and eat before I go to the grocery store so I'm not hungry. I have something ready to go. It just needs warmed up. So before I go to the grocery store, I should have a full belly, and that'll prevent me from stopping to get worse junk than what I'm going to eat. Then I'll be stocked up for food for the week. So I'm going to do the grocery shopping, but I'm probably going to eat a number of calories today without getting much exercise other than that. That's the plan. So tomorrow I'm expecting to weigh 2 to 3 pounds more than I weigh right now. Then I'm going to go on 40 miles of cycling. I'm going to eat a breakfast, a lot of protein. It's Chick-fil-A, chicken burrito, but it's basically, Chick-fil-A chicken and eggs and some salsa and some Chick-fil-A sauce and cheese. And that will fill me up and make it so that I'm not hungry all day. And of course I'm going to eat 1,000-calorie cookie because I work at a bakery that makes 1,000-calorie cookies, and I'm allowed to eat one when I work. So I'm going to eat that because I'm not going to, who the hell would say no to that? I mean, people do, but I'm not going to say no to that. You can't put a freaking 1,000-calorie cookie in front of me and tell me not to eat it and expect me not to eat it. I'm going to eat that shit. So, but I'm riding a bicycle 40 miles. I think that, that'll burn some of that off. So there's a chance I'll wake up Wednesday morning. I'll be 3 to 4 pounds less than what I was Monday morning. So Tuesday morning, I'll wake up 3-4 pounds less than what I was Monday morning. Then I'll gain weight for a few days. Or maybe even out, maybe kind of plateau for a bit. And then I'll go on another long-ass bike ride. And I'll wake up less the next day. Over the last, let's see, Thursday morning, I don't know what I weighed. I'd have to look at the graph. Friday morning, I probably weighed in a pound or two heavier. But Saturday morning, I weighed less than Friday morning. And today I weighed less. Well, no, today I weighed more because of what I ate last night. But I can tell you when I came home yesterday, I weighed myself. And the weight was lower. So weigh yourself often and use an app that can show you the trend. And how this applies to your whole life is when you're going through struggles, when you're going through the down and having really bad days, don't discount the good days that you have. Keep track of all the good things that are happening too. And then just look back 6 months ago. Am I better off today than I was 6 months ago, a year ago, especially a year ago? If you're better off today than you were a year ago, take stock in that. Because right now, if I wasn't thinking about where I was a year ago, I would be in a lot worse mental state because of everything that I'm dealing with right now that's toxic and stressful. But I know that a year ago, I was dealing with worse stuff that was more toxic and more stressful than what I'm dealing with right now. And in spite of what I'm dealing with right now being toxic and stressful enough that it's really having a severe impact on my ability to do things and to move forward in my life and make my life better, it's actually holding me back and causing me a lot of problems. I can still say that a year ago things were worse, much worse. 10 days after coming home from prison, wow, man, it was bad. Really, really bad. Really bad. Like, I'm having flashbacks right now as I sit here and talk. I would give anything to never go back to that, to what I was experiencing exactly a year ago. When homelessness was an upgrade from what I was going through a year ago today, that says it all. And so just follow the trend line. Take my expert weight loss advice. Stop eating as much as you burn, or more. Stop eating more than you burn. If you eat more than you burn and you don't want to stop eating that much, then go out and burn. Do something. Get off your ass and go get some exercise. Then you can eat 3 double cheeseburgers at Burger King. If you want, if one double cheeseburger is not enough and you got to get 3, go burn. Get on your fucking bike, go for a walk, burn 3 double cheeseburgers, and then you can eat as many as you want. Eat the 3 double cheeseburgers after you burn them. Or eat them and then burn. It works better if you burn them first and then eat them versus eating them and then trying to burn them, because when that's in your trying to ride a bike when you got 3 double cheeseburgers hanging out inside you, it's not a fun time to be on the bike. But I'll tell you what, when I stopped at Chipotle after riding a bicycle 60 miles and I got the biggest burrito that they've ever tried to roll. I don't even know. I still don't know how the girl was able to get the burrito to close on itself and it didn't fall apart in any way, shape, or form while I ate it. I took the tin foil off and it didn't fall apart. I ate that whole burrito in about 5 minutes or less, and there was not a single moment of discomfort all the way home, because I think my body digested the burrito and it was already, the queso was already going through my veins like 5 minutes after I ate the thing. That's how long it took to digest, because my body was so starved for nutrients. It was just like, I'll take anything you give me. You put a Big Mac in there, I'll make it work. Anything. Just, I need calories. I need food right now. Right now, you've got 13 miles to go to get home. You're not going to make it home if you don't stop and fill your belly right now. I could have eaten another one of those burritos. I could have eaten another whole burrito, no problem. I wouldn't have even had to try. And then I might have felt a little bit of discomfort on the bike. But one giant burrito was like nothing. That felt like I'd been sitting on my ass for 3 days and all I ate was one potato chip. That was how the burrito felt going down into my belly. It was like it didn't even It didn't even fill the void. It was like putting $1 worth of gas in your 50-gallon gas tank because you can't afford gas, but you still need to get home until and you maybe you don't got to drive again until your direct deposit hits. But that dollar's worth of gas got eaten. You don't even know if you're going to get back to the gas station after your direct deposit comes in to actually fill your tank. That's what eating that burrito felt like. After 60 miles, and I still had I was at 60 something miles, and I still had 15. I had less than 20, more than I had somewhere around 15 miles left to go. That sounds about right. And I had nothing in the tank. I was on fumes at that point, and they were pretty intense fumes. I was covered in salt, sunburned. I'm feeling that, and but that burrito was like nothing. I guarantee you, I burned more than I ate that day. When I came home, I think I had a bag of peanuts, and not a healthy bag of peanuts. It was the s'mores trail mix. So, and I devoured it like it wasn't even there while I watched House of David. And so anyway, there's some insight, there's some information for you. It looks like the phone didn't die out on me while I recorded this. And I think I'm going to make this its own video, so you'll see 2 videos here within the next day or two. Peace out.